turned out to be a delusion. 1 year in, and President Trump has already accomplished more than any other president. So sing with me. Let's make America great again. I'm not tired of winning, my friends. Let's make America great again. I'm not tired of winning, my friends. Let's look at some of President Trump's accomplishments. How about ending useless regulations? How about bringing back jobs? How about making NATO pay? Negotiating better trade deals? How about tax cuts and securing the border? It's just the beginning, folks, so let's sing it. Let's make America great again. I'm not tired of winning, my friends. What is happening, people? It is Holy Joe Rock and Roll here, live from Austin, Texas. Infowars.com, bitches, back online. No one can shut down Alex Jones. No one. Wearing my tyrant shirt. That's where it all started. It all started with Obama. He was supposed to be a uniter. He turned out to be the greatest divider. Turned out to be the worst president in my lifetime. Possibly the worst president you ever seen. How old are you? Are you older than me? You know darn well this is the worst president that we had. Obama. Okay? Now we got Trump. We judge a tree by its fruit. And we can see that within less than 2 years, President Trump has totally turned around the economy. He's made promises. He's kept his promises. He's done what he said he would do. Turn the economy around, bring the jobs back, negotiate better trade deals, deal with North Korea, etc., etc. All right? Promises kept so far. And with very few exceptions, he's doing a great job. I mean, there's no way you can, I got tons of papers here proving that there's no way you can argue against what I'm saying. Now, for those of you that think that you're a Democrat, I mean, maybe you were a Democrat like 50 years ago, 60 years ago. I challenge you to watch any speech by JFK, John F. Kennedy. That's right. Watch his speech on tax cuts. Watch his speech on going to the moon. Excuse me. Watch any of his speeches, and you will recognize that John F. Kennedy, a Democrat, and probably at the height of at least Catholic power in the United States, Democrat Catholic power in the United States, JFK would be considered definitely a center-right Republican today, a center-right conservative today. Listen to any of his speeches. And as we can recall from what Ronald Reagan used to always say, I didn't leave the Democrat Party, the Democrat Party left me. Now, what is this all to say? This is to say that the Democrat Party has moved so far to the left that you cannot recognize it. The Democrat Party used to be the party for workers, working people party, right? As far back as the Depression and Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal, that's when they started spinning this whole thing. They're for the small people, this for the small guy, right? You can't recognize them anymore. The Democrat Party has sold its soul to identity politics, which is a fail, and also sexual liberation. That is promoting LGBT, XYZ, Q, PRG lifestyles, and it's just not what the silent majority wants. And every time we've had votes on this issue, all the people have always voted against it. But the Supreme Court went against the people, right? It is imposing the will of the oligarchs. Now, I mean, the best spokesperson on this, the best person who concisely articulates this situation is E. Michael Jones. In his book, Libido Dominani, he explains sexual liberation as a form of political control. And one quick analysis of the situation is, think about, you probably weren't born in the 1960s during the Vietnam War. There was an anti-war movement. What happened? Remember, we're coming on the heels of the 1950s, which is one of the most conservative times in American history. You know, Leave It to Beaver, all that kind of good stuff. The 60s came along, Vietnam War broke out, and then what happened? who was protesting? Just normal people started protesting the war. Then it was the hippies. And then the government, the CIA, injected LSD and other drugs into this movement. What was his name? Timothy Leary admitted that he never stopped being a CIA plant. He was a CIA plant. It was a CIA operation using drugs. Then the sexual liberation, right? The hippies, free love, all that stuff came out. And basically, what did it do? They used sexual liberation and drugs to destroy the anti-war movement. What happened to the anti-war movement by the early 70s? It was crushed. All these people were on drugs. They were high on drugs. They were in communes. They were hippies. There was no more resistance to the war movement, to the big state, to the deep state, to the military-industrial complex. There was no more resistance because they used sexual liberation as a weapon. Now, fast forward to today, you can see that same thing is happening with the transgender stuff, trying to get kids 5, 6, 7 years old to transition or say it's okay. It's pure child abuse. Anybody would know that it's pure child abuse. But Alex Jones has been kicked off the air. He's been kicked off of almost every single platform you can imagine. And I'm just checking, my feed's coming through. I'm getting a yellow light here. But it looks like it's okay. Pretty okay. You know, Alex Jones has been kicked off all these major platforms. And you can see that there is a conspiracy. There was obviously a conspiracy because within 12-hour period, he got kicked off at, not Twitter, but YouTube, Facebook, and his channel's gone. Now, I thought, you know, some of his theatrics, you know, the last few months have been theatrics that they're going to kick him off the air. Like, why would they kick him off the air? What can he do? What damage can he do, right? And obviously, it turned out to be true. There was this movement to kick him off the air, and they're using basically lies, saying that you know he whatever. There's no video of him actually doing it. It's just people in the left are just regurgitating what they've heard from the media, which are just nothing but lies. Like, I look for, you know, things on Sandy Hook, nothing there. Stuff about, you know, it's just crazy stuff, man. It's just all just made up lies. There's no video to prove it. If there was, you know, the guy's on the air 4 or 5 hours a day. They would just have the video, show the video, right? Where's the video? There's nothing. So it's all hocus pocus, and obviously Alex Jones is a threat. Infowars.com is a threat. Now, I never really was a fan of Alex Jones until he got on board the Trump train. I got to be honest with you. I watched a couple of his videos years ago when a friend of mine in New York, who actually passed away, he told me about the FEMA camps. And I was like, this is just nonsense. Where are you getting this shit from? And he said, Alex Jones. So then I tuned into Alex Jones, and I was like, all right, this is kind of interesting, kind of chemtrails and all this stuff, but I just wasn't into it, right? Then, of course, Alex Jones was endorsing, at first, Ted Cruz. And then when he realized Ted Cruz was a liar, he switched to the guy that got on the Trump train. And candidate Trump was on his show. And I started listening to him more and more. By the way, this is a shirt from InfoWars store. I don't believe it's available anymore. These shirts, by the way, if you can get them on sale, I mean, look, whatever. If you can get them, they are really good quality shirts. I think this is normally $19. It was on sale, and I got it, I think, for $4.99, something like that. For $4.99, this is a freaking bargain, okay? Free, plus shipping, but super good quality, cotton, 100% cotton. You can feel that it's really real cotton. You know, it's cool versus any of those fake-ass t-shirts would say it's 5% polyester, which probably means it's 90% polyester if they're coming from China. Anyhow, I'm not sure where this is made. I think it's made in America. But anyhow, I digress. If you want to support Alex Jones, the only way to do it is download his app. By the way, if you go into the App Store, the Apple App Store, at least for me yesterday, I went into the App Store and I said, look, Alex is off the air. Where can I listen to his program? Let me get his app, right? InfoWars. I searched for InfoWars in the App Store, Apple App Store. It's not there. Couldn't find it. But if I went into Safari and Googled InfoWars app, it brought up like 2 or 3 links. InfoWars official app, InfoWars news app, and I think an Alex Jones app. I'm not sure if that's official or not. Anyways, the first two are. And when you click on them, then I was able to download the app from the App Store. So I think it's obvious that Apple is hiding his app on purpose, but if you just search for it on the web, you'll find a link to it, and then you can get into it, you know, in the thing. So that's just a tip for you if you want to get the app from the App Store. I'm not sure about Play. I don't use Android, but yeah, he was. You know, Alex Jones was also kicked off all of his podcasts, and all that stuff was gone. It's just it's crazy what has happened when, in fact, he's done what violation of any terms of service has he actually done? That's the thing now. They can do this to Alex. They can do this to anybody. And as I said, really this has been pushed, as you can easily see, by the left, right? These Democrats, they are left. I mean, look. If you base the Democrat Party on Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and Maxine Waters, this is one effed up party. The party is over for the Democrats, man. They just keep going further and further left. And what worked for Obama as a very interesting, unique candidate, at least in 2008, didn't work for Hillary Clinton. Okay? That whole identity politics doesn't work for a rich white woman who's been in politics for at least 30, 40 years. But it was, at least Obama's initial campaign in 2008 was at least on the surface was uplifting, right? He said, we're not blue Americans, we're not red Americans, we're the United States of America. But of course that rhetoric certainly changed once he got into office and became the most divisive president that we've ever had. There's just no question about it, right? You know, for him to say things like, if I had a son, it would look like Trayvon. First of all, that's it's nonsense. Second of all, you know, if anybody else were to have said that, what would the reaction be? I just moved over. Oh, where am I? Oh, I'm over here. Wait, I'm gonna go this way. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on, man. My stream health is really piss poor. Market is up. Market is strong. Trump's strategies, you know, art of the deal, all seem to be working. I think there's no question about it. You can just see, and by the way, for those of you who are on the fence about Trump still, I mean, if you happen to be watching this video, look, I just challenge you. All of Trump's books, at least the most important ones, are on YouTube as audiobooks. Somebody has loaded them up there. Listen to The Art of the Deal, the first 30 minutes of The Art of the Deal, and tell me that this guy, Donald J. Trump, is an idiot. This guy is not an idiot. You can easily tell that. If you are still in the idiot camp, okay, if you still have hashtag TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome, you need to just listen to that book. 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes, you can certainly tell this guy has been wheeling and dealing, and for forever. Forever. That book came out in 1987, I believe it was. So, anyway, you can see the results of not just a businessman, but a man who really loves his country and is putting the country first, and is really putting America first, as he promised. So with regards to Alex Jones, I think this is going to backfire. It's going to backfire. That's really the bottom line. I don't want to just make this too long, but certainly appreciate you guys tuning in. And you love this? Look, I could do that. I could create the studio anywhere. It's just my older software, a little bit older software, running this studio. But there's no reason why we can't have a million more Alex Joneses online preaching the same gospel of, you know, free markets, individual liberty, self-responsibility, and the American way. That is the American way. That is truly the classic way, right, of America. All right? And that's what we should be really promoting. That's what we are promoting, right? Whereas the left is promoting dependency on the government with welfare programs and this whole victimization. And that, what does that do for you? That doesn't do anything. How does that help you? It doesn't help you. It puts you in a cage, basically. You become a caged animal.
It's 11 o'clock.
Your owner to provide for you. And that's not the American way. Now, that's socialism, that's communism, and ultimately, yeah, we're all equal except for the people at the top, but that's really slavery, if you really want to think about it. So, what can I say? I think this is going to backfire just as the arrest and incarceration of Tommy Robinson backfired on the UK and just exposed the entire deep state in the UK and all of their corruption. This move to ban Alex Jones from YouTube is going to backfire. Now, I certainly hope that InfoWars sues YouTube at least to get... they have to sue these guys, right? But on the other hand, I kind of hope that they just move to another platform and bring their audience. And just let's help. I mean, basically going to have to start to defund YouTube. I mean, I used to make, you know, not a lot of money, but at least some money. And I had 500 subscribers. I used to make, you know, at least every quarter I'd make some money, right? And it was kind of, you know, it was just fun, right? Now, I mean, it's not even worth it. I'm already demonetized myself, and I think most people are, to the point where you can't make any money on YouTube anyway. So as a platform for independent creators, it probably has to die. It just has to die off, just like MySpace died off, just like Friendster died off, and just like, you know, Facebook is dying off slowly. I mean, the only people on Facebook now are basically, you know, old ladies, grandmas, and housewives, and who else? I've been off of Facebook for, I don't know, probably at least 6-7 years. I just had sort of a vanity HolyJoe rock and roll page up, and I remember chatting with a few people, and then Facebook said that my name's not HolyJoe rock and roll. I said, what the F? Madonna has a web page up, right? Sting has a web page up. That's not his real name. That's not Madonna's real name. Madonna's not her real name. I'm HolyJoe rock and roll. That is my name. All right, and I sent them my work ID, which has that name on it, and they still denied. So anyways, I said, you know, forget it. I don't need to be on Facebook. It's a waste of time. Twitter also banned me for life because I confronted a homosexual. I called him an FAG because he said that he was a homosexual, and he claimed that he was at a bar. I went through this whole video. I went through this on a video earlier, how I got kicked off. But anyways, I just exposed him as being a liar. And wow, you should have seen Twitter. The Twitterverse is just full of social justice warrior, fag hags, and whatever else. It's just really strange how people who don't know me started just jumping on me, and then everybody was like, I reported him too, I reported him. It's like, it's insanity. It's really an insane group of sort of groupthink that they didn't even look at my tweet, which was really supposed to be a joke based upon another person who made a joke, who at first I thought was for real, but anyways, I just made a joke about the original FAG's tweet where he claimed that he knocked somebody clean the F out at a bar. And I challenged him on that. So because of that, as a result of that, I've been banned permanently. I don't know if you can actually see my tweets on Twitter, at HolyJoeRock, but I'm now on gab.ai, and that's where I intend to stay for now, where free speech is actually respected and allowed. So I just hope that Alex Jones, you know, he has his own platform. It's relatively easy. I don't want to say it's necessarily, it's not that expensive. Come on, let's be honest. Look, a place like many places that host websites, you know, you just you know the big ones, whatever. They often say that if it's for yourself, you can host, you have unlimited storage, right? But it has to be your stuff. And you can host videos, but it has to be your videos. Now, I don't know, I didn't read the fine print about it, whether if you're a corporation or not, but certainly if these are Alex Jones videos, you can certainly host them on any of these sites. And, you know, we're talking $10 a month for unlimited storage. I mean, let's just be honest, right? But, and that may be what he's doing now with his own servers or what have you, I don't know, but certainly it's possible to get content online. The question is how to stream live, but I'm honestly hoping that he gets on another platform, you know, as soon as possible, man, and just helps build that platform up. Whoa, because obviously we need an alternative to YouTube, because YouTube is just sort of without any merit, kicking people off. Same thing with Twitter. Now, Twitter is the one exception, at least for Alex Jones, did not kick him off. Now, I didn't get into the details of it. For whatever reason, they didn't kick him off because, I think what it was is the president, Dorsey, said that they're not going to kick him off because Alex did not violate their terms of service. So go figure, right? Don't know what again, what terms of service did Alex Jones actually violate with these other companies. And I'm also tired of people saying that this is a private company, they can do whatever they want. These are publicly traded companies. They are utilities. They've asked to be considered as utilities, like the phone company. And if you are like the phone company, that means you do not edit or control content, right? You're not responsible for, you're not a publisher. As a publisher, you would edit content, or you'd say what can and cannot be put out there on your platform. So if you're a publisher, right, then you can control the speech. But if you're a public utility, like a phone company, the phone company shouldn't be listening in, and as soon as they hear certain keywords, shut up your connection, right? They don't do that. At least not yet, right? So if the fact that YouTube is doing this to conservatives primarily, and to Alex Jones, it shows that they are no longer acting as a public utility or acting as a publisher, which means that they should be held responsible for all the content that's out there, right? So you got pedophilia videos out there, you got sexual misconduct stuff out there. Are we going to hold YouTube liable as a publisher because they're allowing this on their platform? Right? We got hate speech in terms of people inciting violence against the president, Donald J. Trump. Are we going to hold YouTube responsible for that because they're allowing this content out there? They are now a publisher if they are going to ban people, ban companies, ban sources of information, ban content providers. Remember, the content providers are putting this content out there for free. It's their own labor, their own work that's going out there to build these channels up, to build these platforms up. Not getting paid by YouTube. So really, I think YouTube is going to be, well, look, I believe Google's going to be broken up. Alphabet is going to have to be broken up. There probably will be a search engine group, there will be a YouTube group, and there will be, I don't know, maybe an apps group or Android group. It's just too big. It's too much control. Same thing with Apple. Maybe there's going to have to be a split up. Just like they thought about breaking up Microsoft into an operating system group and a applications group. That sort of went away as Google and Apple came back up, right? But now you see Apple and Google, well, Apple now over $1 trillion market cap value, much bigger than Microsoft ever was. Google also probably twice as big market cap as Microsoft. These companies are way bigger than Microsoft was back in the mid-1990s when the federal government just went after Microsoft for simply including a browser in the operating system for free. Do you remember that? Think about that. This is insanity, and I think it's time for the government to step in and break these monopolies because they are out of control, clearly out of control. For Infowars.com, this has been Holy Joe Rock and Roll, coming at you live and unscripted. Hit that subscribe button. Give you updates whenever I get them. Reporting to you live from Austin, Texas. I could be anywhere, baby, right? Who knows where I am? Who cares, man? I'm here, I'm live, and I'm in your face, baby. But listen, remember to always make it happen for the captain because you're the captain.
Let's make America great again. I'm not tired of winning, my friends. Let's make America great again. I'm not tired of